Congratulations on this film. I really enjoyed it. But first of all, I wanted to ask you, I tend to think that when you approach any kind of project, whether it's art or film, that if you feel too comfortable with something, you won't do your best. So how do you feel about that? And do you choose your roles now that way?
I think you have a good point there. I mean, I remember years ago I met David Bowie, and I asked him how he does it, because I was amazed by how he continues to reinvent himself. And he said, well, I never got comfortable doing anything I was doing. I just never got comfortable. And I think that is where you can create, because if you go into things that you're afraid of, it's challenging you. It's forcing you to not play it safe, to get on the high wire and be willing to fall or fail in the effort to find something that's really has a bit of truth to it.
Amazing. And this character, first I didn't know whether to like this guy or hate this guy. He's kind of a pretty sleazy dude, but do you think he deserves some sympathy?
I'm one of those people that believes that your opinion is what matters. And anything I tell you, if he does, or if he's a bad cop, or if he's a good cop, or if he does or doesn't deserve sympathy, would be a mistake, because it's your personal connection with the movie and with the character that I want to leave unmolested. You know, that's important to me.
Well, I did like this guy because I kind of felt he was a product of his environment. Is that what happens to him?
You know, when you look at the beginning of the movie and you see that he's had this rather traumatic back injury, you know, who's to say, you know, whether one of us wouldn't resort to that if you were living in pain, you know? I mean, that's sort of what I like about that scene, is it could happen to anybody. I mean, and people make decisions when they're in pain like that.
Absolutely. And you question that, you know, and how you would react in that situation.
Exactly. That's why I try not to judge people as much as I can, because it's like, how do you know what you would do in that situation if you were tested like that? And,
you know, you've been in this business for so long, worked with so many directors, you know, working with Werner Herzog on this film. Did he push you? What was your relationship like?
Werner really didn't need to push me. You know, I already had an understanding of what he could or couldn't tolerate from his previous movies. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew that this was the Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, and therefore I had to have behavior that would be outrageous and be fun to watch in terms of its badness, so to speak, and that people would go to the movie to see that, to see the train wreck of his personality, if you will. So one of the things that I did want to convey was the hideousness of the drugs. You know, I felt the way I could be responsible with the material was if I made the drugs so unattractive in terms of my behavior and even my facial expressions that nobody would ever really want to do them. But Werner's not really into message movies. He's more about, let's celebrate the bliss of evil.
Right.
And I understand as well, because that's where the comedy is in the movie.
And I loved the dark comedy in it, and just the visuals with iguanas and that kind of thing. And like you said, your facial expressions, you don't really have to say much, and, you know, there it is. So that was pretty incredible. Eva Mendes, gorgeous, gorgeous woman. You've worked with her before. Why is she such a good co-star?
Which Eva's, she's, you know, I'm, as you said, done 2 movies with her now, and you know, she's growing.
Yeah.
She's so effortless. And she's very fluid, and there's a softness to her in this movie that I find very attractive. She can create things, improvise things that just happen spontaneously. And there's a great scene in the movie where she pulls my gun out and goes, "You better love me," and sticks it in my stomach. And it's that kind of moment that makes you love her, you know. She's a great actress.
And it's nice to see New Orleans in the backdrop as well. Is it another character in this film?
Most definitely. I mean, New Orleans is not like anywhere else in the world. It's the birthplace of jazz. It's got all these different energies, colonized by the French, the Spanish, African energy. And all those things just sort of add to the movies as a backdrop, but also in terms of performance. You can soak that kind of stuff up, and it can inform your work.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on this film. I'm a big fan of yours, and I think you did such a great job in this.
Thanks a lot.
Have a great day.
You too.